Welcome back to our talk on manners. I'm John Patrick Hickey, and we talked in the last video about manners and our social structure, and I want to continue on that topic in this video because I want us to understand how manners, or the lack of, really affects our social structure. And we talked about the fact that people tend to be bothered by the fact that people can be very rude and very cruel and very hard against other people, and we do tend to think of ourselves. And I mentioned in the last video that we always tend to blame that on a generation, thinking that we raised a generation to think of themselves first. And the fact is that humans have always done that. We are a selfish breed. It's inside of us. It's in the human nature to be selfish and to think of ourselves before we think of other people. And that's one of the things we need to conquer. You see, good manners is the ability, as I gave you that definition, I'm going to repeat this constantly during these videos because if anything, I want you to take away that definition. Manners is nothing more, nothing less than kindness and respect. And if we do that, if we show that to other people, then we're going to have true manners. But you see, it's more than just deciding that this is what I'm going to do, because manners, or showing that respect and that kindness, is a deliberate decision. It doesn't happen naturally. Selfishness happens naturally. Kindness does not happen naturally. You see, we have this idea that deep down inside of everyone, we're all really good people, and we're all really kind, and we're all really basically all right. Well, the fact is that's not true. That deep down inside, we're selfish, we're rude, we're cruel. And it shows itself. When you see all the cruelty that goes on, man's inhumanity to man, when you see all of the selfishness that's out there, the corruption, all the immorality, all of the rudeness and the hardness that goes on in the society that we live in, and we think, where did all of this come from? Well, it came from us. And the fact is that you don't have to work at doing what's wrong. As the late Corrie ten Boom used to say, any dead fish can float downstream. That, it just happens. That quality of negativity comes out of us naturally. The quality of being positive, of being kind, of having good manners is a deliberate choice. It's something we do because we choose to do it. So, if you want to improve the social structure that we live in, you have to make that decision. You have to choose that you are going to change the way you treat other people. You don't look at it and say, well, people have to treat me better if I'm going to treat them better. Or if you're going to be rude to me, I'm going to be rude to you. I mean, we even see and sometimes praise the idea of people saying, well, you hit me, I'm going to hit you back. I'm going to hit you back hard. Well, that's not where, getting that true sense of manners comes from. And I'm not saying that we should be doormats and let people abuse us, by no means. But we have to be able to find other ways that we can go and change the people who are out there. You see, change only happens on an individual basis. You can't look at society as a whole and say, okay, we need to change everybody. You're not going to change everybody. It's impossible. It's not going to happen. But you can change one person. And you only have power to change one person. And the news flash is that one person is you. That is the only person that you have the power to change, the power to transform. That is you and only you. But if you change you, then you know that there, as Thomas Carlyle said, you know that there's one less scoundrel in the room. That you don't have to worry about one person, because you know that you've changed. But if I can change me and you change you, and then somebody else, it's like, if we all individually do these changes, then yes, ultimately everything changes. You see, that's where manners can truly make a difference in our social structure. And all it takes is for you as an individual to treat the people you come in contact with respect and with kindness, and you can make a massive difference. Don't think that because people who are rude, people who are cruel, people who are corrupt, just because they can roar loud, don't think they have extra power. They don't. The only people they have power over is themselves. That's all. They can yell and scream and they can roar, but the fact is that they're only making noise. They don't have power over you. You have power over you. Just like you can't change them, they can't change you. So make a difference. Make a difference by making a decision for yourself. We're going to talk more about what actually makes good manners. What is it that really happens that makes good manners so important? And that's in our next video. But for now, for the Growth Center, this is John Patrick Hickey, and I do want to encourage you to live your purpose and change your world.